The day I found out I had terminal bone cancer, Luna Valentine's childhood sweetheart came to my house to provoke me and commit arson. I didn't contact Luna Valentine, instead, I covered my mouth and nose with a wet wipe and silently waited for rescue. This was because, in my previous life, I had called her back at the first moment of the fire, begging her to take me to the hospital for emergency treatment. In the end, I managed to save my life, but Ethan Carter was buried in the fire that day. She said she didn't blame me, told me to rest in the hospital and recover, and even took time off to take care of me. But on the day I recovered and was discharged from the hospital, she dragged me from the hospital to Ethan Carter's grave and stabbed me in the chest with a dagger she had sharpened in advance. Blood splattered on her face, and her eyes were filled with hateful crimson. If you hadn't deliberately started the fire, Ethan would never have died. Did you think you could fool me by pretending to be a victim? Dream on. I want you to pay for his life. Don't you like arson? Then I'll let you watch yourself burn to death. Feel the pain Ethan felt before he died. She poured gasoline on me and set me on fire, watching me turn to ashes. When I opened my eyes again, I was back at the scene of the fire. A wave of thick smoke rushed into my nostrils, and I coughed violently, the pain instantly waking me from the memories of my previous life. The first thing I did was take out my phone, but instead of calling my wife, who was the commander of the rescue team, I dialed the public emergency number. When the rescue team arrived, I saw Luna Valentine's familiar figure from afar. Only after she directed people to rescue Ethan Carter from the fire did I dare to call out for help with the others. The team members thought I was messing around and scolded me with cold faces for a long time. The wedding photos on the wall fell and pressed heavily on my chest. Several fragile ribs broke, and I vomited blood on the spot, but they still turned a deaf ear. I gritted my teeth and endured the pain, using all my strength to crawl out of the fire. But all the cooling equipment was used on Ethan Carter. Luna Valentine didn't even bother to look at me, only scolding me for bringing it on myself. I was sweating from the pain, blood spilling from my mouth, and I could even feel my life slipping away rapidly. In my previous life, Ethan Carter and I had both called her for help at the first moment of the fire, but she considered my poor health and chose to save me first. As a result, when she returned to the fire was already out of control and she couldn't go in to save him. Ethan Carter died on the spot, his body burned beyond recognition. Luna Valentine said it was okay and told me not to blame myself. To comfort me, she even took time off to take care of me. But on the day I recovered and was discharged, she dragged me to Ethan Carter's grave and stabbed me in the chest with a blade she had been sharpening for a month. Blood splattered on her face, and at that moment, she was like a vengeful ghost from hell. David Cole, do you know what it's like to watch the person you love burn to death? I want you to repay the pain I experienced tenfold, 100-fold. Later, as she wished, I died in the fire. This time, reborn, I just wanted to escape far away. I didn't expect she still wouldn't let me go, and wouldn't even give me the cooling and emergency equipment. After spitting out another mouthful of blood, I howled and used my hoarse voice to make a final plea for help. Save me, please. A team member closest to me finally noticed and turned to look at me, his eyes full of disdain and ridicule. He kicked me. David, stop acting. Everyone in the team knows you can't stand Ethan. I didn't expect you to set a fire with that little body of yours. Luna Valentine has already gone to save him, no one's watching you, even if you keep acting. To be honest, I admire you for being able to go to this extent for a woman, but it's a pity Luna Valentine only has eyes for Ethan. You better pray Ethan is okay, or Luna Valentine might just divorce you. I knew Luna Valentine didn't love me, but I didn't expect even her team members to think of me that way. The burning pain all over my body made me unable to make a sound. My skin was peeling off from the high temperature. All the team members were busy putting out the fire, and no one asked about my condition. In a daze, I heard someone exclaim, "Oh, why is there so much blood on the ground? Oh no, did David get hurt? What could happen to a grown man? He just wants Luna Valentine to come and look at him. He's been making a fuss for a long time. Forget it, go call Luna Valentine over and see." But I didn't get Luna Valentine's concern, instead, I got her merciless questioning. Her gloved hands slapped me twice. "David Cole, wake up, stop pretending, I'm here. Did a dog eat your brain? You set the fire yourself and burned yourself like this, shooting yourself in the foot. Is it fun? Even now, she still thinks I started the fire and that I was acting out of jealousy. I wanted to explain, but my mouth was already so smoked that I couldn't say a word. The broken bones in my chest were killing me. I could only reach out and grab her sleeve, hoping she would understand my plea for help. But she hesitated for 2 seconds, then forcefully turned my face away and flung it to the side. You're acting pretty well. If Ethan hadn't said you hid after starting the fire, I would have believed you. After leaving those words, she turned and left without hesitation. The next second, a team member exclaimed beside me, Luna Valentine. Blood. David is bleeding. Is he hurt? Ignore him. Ethan said it's just chicken blood. What could happen to a big man? He's acting like a damsel in distress. Let him act if he wants to. After the intense pain, everything went black, and I complete. Ly lost consciousness. In my dream, I seemed to return to the time when I first met Luna Valentine. At a campus lecture, she had a face as cold as ice, and her excellent professional skills aroused the challenging desires of many boys. I was no exception. After falling in love with her at first sight, I began to inquire about her everywhere. At that time, I was still an intern lecturer at the school, and she looked down on me. To get her attention, I worked harder and harder. After becoming a full-time employee, I invited her to dinner in the name of gratitude. I keenly noticed that the way she looked at me had changed. I seized this opportunity and pursued her fiercely. Flowers, cakes, cosmetics. I never skimped on gifts I could give. Finally, my wish came true, and she accepted my confession. I thought this was the beginning of happiness, but I didn't expect it to be the beginning of my nightmare. After we were together, she became more and more indifferent to me. Every time we had a date, she was either busy with work or had a sudden rescue mission. I never doubted her words until our wedding day. An email from abroad completely shattered my dream. Ethan Carter recorded in detail the 10 years they had been together, every second of the memories causing my heart to ache. It turned out that all the times she missed our dates, she was spending time with another man. What was even more pathetic was that I didn't even dare to question her. I was afraid she would leave. In my previous life, when Ethan Carter died, she was so calm that I once thought I was the winner in this relationship. Even though I had a terminal illness and didn't have much time left, I thought I was the happiest person in the world. The sudden surge of love made my head spin, and I completely lost my ability to think. It wasn't until I was discharged from the hospital and died in her hands that I understood. She wasn't loving me with her life, she was just retaliating with all her might. Though love are in her heart, from beginning to end, was only Ethan Carter. When I woke up, I had already been sent to a hospital room. But around me weren't Luna Valentine, but unfamiliar faces. You're awake? I'm your downstairs neighbor. I originally wanted to see how the fire was, but who knew I'd go up and see you lying on the ground alone? So I sent you to the hospital. Are you okay? How do you feel? I struggled to move my limbs, and my eyes caught sight of the gauze wrapped all over my body, and my movements stopped. I'm sorry, the doctor said you had severe burns when you were brought in, and the skin all over your body. I forced a smile and said bitterly, it's not your fault. I know I wouldn't have lived for more than a few days even if you hadn't saved me. But thank you for sending me to the hospital. Even a stranger could tell at a glance that something was wrong with me, but my wife of 5 years didn't even bother to look at me. Seeing that I was in low spirits, he was more annoyed than I was. I don't know what's wrong with these rescue teams. How could they not save someone lying there? If I hadn't gone up to check, you would have lost your life. Where's your family? How can your wife not care when something so big has happened? If you have her number, I'll contact her to come over. You can't be without someone by your side right now. I've already reported that rescue team. People like that continuing to work is a scourge on society. I nodded, but could only make a hissing sound when I opened my mouth. My wife is dead. After the words fell, his face was filled with sympathy. He offered to take care of me until I was discharged. I declined his kindness. After transferring the hospital and surgery fees to him, I persuaded him to leave. Although he left, the online public opinion continued to ferment. The topic of the rescue team commander's backyard catching fire was trending. At this moment, it had already rushed to the top of the trending topics and major apps. The neighbor kindly posted the photo of me lying on the ground in the comments section. It instantly caused a heated discussion across the internet, and everyone was scolding the rescue team for only caring about putting out fires and turning a blind eye to my living life. If that's the case, then they should be called a fire brigade, and not shamelessly trying to pass themselves off as rescuers. I searched through the comments section full of online abuse, and only felt that such punishment was still too light for Luna Valentine. When I opened the chat box, wanting to send her a message about the divorce, a message from Ethan Carter showing off popped up first. It turned out that he was also in this hospital, staying just downstairs from me. In the photo, Luna Valentine was personally feeding him porridge, carefully blowing on it for fear of burning him. I had seen countless photos of the two of them being intimate. Such images could no longer stir my emotions. I silently closed the chat box and called Luna Valentine. She finally answered on the 5th try, her voice extremely impatient. "You still have the nerve to call? What do you want? Are you asking if Ethan is dead? I'm sorry to disappoint you. Ethan has already been rescued by me. He's alive and kicking, right here in the hospital. David Cole, I didn't expect you to be this kind of person after knowing you for so long. Do you know what you're doing? You're killing people. Are you crazy? I'm giving you 1 hour to get to the hospital room and apologize to him. Otherwise, it's divorce." Before I could speak, Ethan Carter's aggrieved and hoarse voice sounded from the other end. "Luna Valentine, don't blame David Cole, it's all my fault. If he says I started the fire, then just admit it, don't argue with him. His health isn't good to begin with, don't make him angry." Luna Valentine sighed and said disappointedly, "You're just too kind. That's why he's always been able to ride roughshod over you. We knew each other first. Who is David Cole? What right does he have to lay a hand on you? Don't worry about it, I have to teach him a lesson this time." Just as the two were getting cozy, I said indifferently, "Yeah, let's get a divorce." "I agree. I'll send you the agreement right away. Remember to sign it." Luna Valentine didn't expect me to take the initiative to propose a divorce. She was stunned for a moment, then anger erupted. Just as she was about to explode, I quickly hung up the phone. Before I could blacklist her number, a barrage of text messages came flooding in. "Where are you? David Cole, are you crazy today? I didn't bother to say anything before because your health was bad, but now you're pushing your luck? Now it looks like you were pretending to be sick before. Do you think I wouldn't dare to divorce you? I'm afraid you'll regret it after the divorce and come crawling back to beg me. Also, take down the news online immediately. Don't force me to expose your true colors in public." I didn't continue reading and deleted all the messages and blacklisted her number. Even though I had already experienced the bloody lessons of my previous life, my heart still ached for a moment at being betrayed by her again. The nurses who came in to change my bandages didn't notice my expression and chatted among themselves. "The patient downstairs is so handsome, and his wife is so beautiful. It's the first time I've seen such a well-matched couple. I heard they're childhood sweethearts and had a campus romance. I'm so envious. Your news is outdated. The latest news is that Miss Lynn spent a lot of money to book a window in the cafeteria just so her husband could drink the porridge she cooked. She's cooking for her husband every day. I went to apply medicine for him just now, and Miss Lynn wouldn't even let me touch him. She had to do it herself. Real couples are so easy to ship." I stared numbly at the needle prick on the back of my hand. My arms, with a layer of skin peeling off, were now both painful and itchy. When they left, I was relieved and gasped for air, but I still couldn't get enough air into my chest. In the evening, the doctor came to see me and said that my bone cancer had worsened severely because of the fire. With several broken bones and rapidly spreading cancer cells, I probably wouldn't live as long as originally expected. Hearing this, my first reaction was relief. Living in Luna Valentine's lies, it seemed that death had become a relief for me. After everyone in the ward left, I took out my phone and looked at the latest updates online. The online abuse had become uncontrollable, forcing the leaders of the rescue unit to come forward to explain. However, he explained that the fire was entirely directed and acted by me. It was I who deliberately hurt people out of jealousy. Not only did I waste the unit's rescue resources, but I also implicated their excellent employees in being scolded. In the video, the leader said that he hoped netizens would let go of this matter. But every word and sentence he said directed the source of the conflict towards me. To increase the credibility of the video, Luna Valentine registered an account under her real name and posted my marriage certificate with her. Her actions completely hammered me to death in the tide of online abuse. The scolding that was originally directed at the rescue team turned around and swept towards me. My homepage was overwhelmed and banned by the official. The words I issued to explain were also drowned in the netizens' scolding. I refused chemotherapy, but my hair still fell out in just a few days. In the month that followed, I could feel that the medical staff in the hospital looked at me with hostility in their eyes. They even whispered in front of me, saying that my terminal illness was my retribution, that I deserved it. If it weren't for their pitiful professional ethics, I would probably have been kicked out by now. I received packages from different places every day. Without exception, all of them were threats. Faced with these, I never argued. Only on the day the doctor said I could be discharged, I sent a message to Luna Valentine. Go to City Hall tomorrow to do the paperwork. She seized this opportunity to call me back. What, can't hide it anymore? You have the nerve to show up? I warned you and gave you a chance. You didn't want to withdraw the online public opinion, so don't blame me for not being merciful now. If it weren't for Ethan pleading for you, I would have called the police and arrested you long ago. Divorce, then, don't come crying to me later. You brought the internet hate on yourself. Before I could speak, she had already hung up the phone. I silently opened the home security app and copied the video of Ethan Carter committing arson that day. Early the next morning, after being discharged from the hospital, I went straight to City Hall with my documents. But when the time came, it was Ethan Carter who appeared. I told you a long time ago, you can't win against me, your wife is just my simp. Seeing the burnt skin below my neck, he pretended to be surprised and said, "Oh dear, Luna Valentine didn't save you that day? How did you get burned like this? You were going to die from terminal bone cancer anyway. To live 2 lifetimes and be burned twice, you are a short-lived ghost." He was also reborn? Before my brain could react, my fist had already hit him in the face. After getting sick, my body was weak and I didn't have much strength. But he fell straight to the ground. Ethan! Luna Valentine rushed over from behind me and pushed me hard to the side. I rolled down the steps and stopped with my face covered in blood. The buttons on my coat popped open, revealing the wrinkled skin in front of my chest. My wig also fell to the side, leaving only my bald head. Luna Valentine hugged him in her arms, and as if remembering something, she suddenly turned her head to look at me. When she saw my scars, her face turned pale instantly. How could this be? The diagnosis report fell on the steps, and she picked it up. What's this again? I climbed up awkwardly and closed my clothes, my movements looking particularly stiff because of the wound. I snatched the diagnosis report and stuffed it into my pocket, putting my wig back on and looking at her with mockery. What? Are you disappointed that I didn't get burned to death? You are a good wife, praised by the whole internet, it's so touching, but your concern is unnecessary, I don't care. Oh, right, congratulations to you, may you finally be together. I just don't know how long your good days can last. Cherish them, you can only see your Ethan in jail later. Luna Valentine frowned, her features twisted with anger. David Cole, do you have to talk so sarcastically? I'm a commander, saving people is my mission. I didn't hold you responsible for setting the fire that day, and I saved Ethan for you. Now you're blaming me in return? What face do you have to talk to me like that? You don't deserve it. What exactly is the situation with your injuries? Weren't you acting that day? What's with the terminal bone cancer? I didn't expect that after being married for so long, this is how I was in her heart. This marriage was simply ridiculous. After saying that, she helped Ethan Carter up and was about to walk towards me to check my injuries. Ethan Carter cried out in pain at the right time, immediately making her change her steps. Are you okay? Where did you get hurt? Should I take you to the hospital to see a doctor? You just recovered, you can't take it lightly. I'm okay, don't be angry with David Cole, it's all my fault. I shouldn't have gone to his house that day to make him angry. If I had known he didn't like me, I should have stayed away, it's all my fault. Tears of grievance dripped down. Luna Valentine's eyes immediately turned red with heartache. The two of them were so intimate, disregarding everyone else, that it made me feel nauseous in my stomach. I couldn't help but stop them. Have you been lovey-dovey enough? If you have, go in and do the paperwork. I'll make room for you, so you don't have to be in an improper relationship. As soon as I spoke, I easily provoked her. David Cole, is your heart made of stone? Can't you see how much Ethan has been hurt because of you? I order you to apologize to him now. I was amused by her shamelessness, and when I saw Ethan Carter's smug face behind her, I said coldly, "Are you blind? You pushed me down the steps. Did you apologize to me? What face do you have to talk about me? Relying on the fact that you didn't care about me at the scene of the fire? Or relying on the fact that you were entangled with another man all the time while I was married to you?" She raised her eyebrows in anger and shouted at me, "Just because you deliberately set a fire at home, wanting to burn Ethan to death. I thought this month would make you calm down, but now it seems there's no need. A selfish and vicious man like you doesn't deserve my love at all. You pretended to be sick for so long before, and now it's your retribution that you're sick. David Cole, you deserve it." She shouted so loudly that she attracted the attention of many passers-by. Someone recognized her as the outstanding employee who was recently popular all over the internet. They all stopped and watched. Ethan Carter, afraid that no one would scold me, immediately pointed out my identity. "David Cole, I know you hate me, but you also have to think about Luna Valentine's future. I can't blame you for setting the fire to burn me. I only ask you not to be angry anymore, okay?" As soon as he finished speaking, waves of scolding came at me. Isn't this the beast online who filed a complaint first? He's been scolded for a week, and he's still not honest? People like this can treat human lives as a joke. What's a little scoldy? Ing? It's just tickling. Miss Lynn suffered by marrying him. I don't know how many times he's harmed her in secret. How come this kind of person hasn't been hit by a car when he goes out? Faced with the scolding, Luna Valentine had no intention of defending me at all. Still looking high and mighty. "Can't you understand what I'm saying? Apologize to Ethan." Sure, unless he kneels in front of me and apologizes to me first. Unreasonable. Incorrigible. I was blind to marry you back then. Divorce, let's divorce now. Ethan Carter revealed a smug smile in his eyes when he heard this. I didn't say a word, just lowered my head and patted the dirt off my body. Laugh then. The happier you laugh, the more miserably you'll cry when you go to jail later. When doing the paperwork, the staff also recognized us. The way they looked at Luna Valentine was full of sympathy. As if divorcing me was a relief for her. As if I had stopped her from heading towards happiness. I let them point the camera lens at me and take pictures like crazy. Then they were posted online, and I was completely and utterly blasted. The moment I walked out of City Hall, Luna Valentine didn't even look at me. She was hugged by Ethan Carter, and the two of them got straight into the car. They were so anxious that they even forgot to ask about the diagnosis report. If she didn't ask, I wouldn't bother explaining. My house was burned to the ground, so I rented a room outside. After signing the contract, I went straight to the police station. On the way, Ethan Carter sent me a message showing off. I opened the photo, and inside, Luna Valentine was at the sales office, picking out a new house for the two of them. "You couldn't beat me in the last life, and you're still a loser this time, accept your fate, short-lived ghost. When Luna Valentine and I get married, I'll burn paper money for you at your grave." I saved all the messages he sent me, and gave them to the police along with the video I took from the surveillance. At first, the police recognized me as the person rumored to have started the fire online, and their attitude towards me wasn't good. But after watching the video, their faces were filled with sympathy. "If you had evidence, why didn't you hand it over earlier?" I shook my head. The time wasn't right. If I had released the video at the beginning, I wouldn't have been able to get divorced smoothly. Only by letting him float to the highest point, and then falling hard, would it be considered revenge. The police didn't say anything else, only telling me to go back and wait for the results, and they would investigate as soon as possible. I didn't have a job or any income because of my poor health during the years I was married. Now that I was divorced, my top priority was to find a job as soon as possible. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have the money to sue Ethan Carter in court. I downloaded job search software and sent my resume to local companies. But the impact of the online abuse exceeded my expectations. They didn't even want to give me an interview opportunity. The excuses they gave in reply were even more perfunctory, blaming me for not having work experience. But I could see that they hadn't even opened the email with my resume. They probably saw my name and rejected it directly. I wasn't willing to give up and called the HR departments one by one. At first, there were still people willing to answer and talk to me. But later, even my number became an industry blacklist. I wasn't angry either. After all, I was currently in the eye of the storm. Once it was exposed that a company had hired me, it would immediately be drowned in the netizens' scolding. After graduating from a top university, I never thought that one day I would face the embarrassing situation of not being able to find a job. And all of this was because I had trusted the wrong person when I was young. I gave up on the idea of going to an office. Instead, I focused on low-level service jobs. I wandered around major shopping malls, and as long as I saw a place that was hiring, I would apply actively. The only thing I was grateful for was that my face wasn't burned, so I wouldn't be discriminated against. In the end, I was taken in by a jewelry store. During this time, the photos taken by the staff at City Hall were already spreading like wildfire online. Everyone knew that I, this arsonist, had been abandoned by my wife. Everyone applauded and cheered. A passerby ran into Luna Valentine and Ethan Carter on a date, took a photo with them, and posted it online. The comments section was full of blessings. Netizens even secretly revealed that she had asked Luna Valentine, and she said that the two of them were getting married soon. The official website of the city's largest hotel also announced at this time, saying that Luna Valentine's wedding banquet would be held at their hotel. Looking at the continuous blessings online, I smiled. This was what she said, that she only treated Ethan Carter as a friend, that the two of them were innocent. But as soon as we divorced, she couldn't wait to hold a wedding banquet. After experiencing everything in my previous life, the love I once had long turned into hate. The news of their marriage could no longer touch me. However, it did provide me with a good stage. I thought, on the day of the wedding banquet, the bride and groom would be taken away by the police together. That scene would be wonderful. A day later, I was working at the jewelry store, responsible for cleaning the store. I ran into the two of them who came to shop for jewelry. Ethan Carter's expression wasn't surprising when he saw me. He had inquired in advance, so he deliberately chose this store. "Honey, do you like this style? But my darling looks beautiful in anything." Because of cyberbullying, I had to wear a mask to work. But Luna Valentine recognized me at a glance. I wanted to turn and leave, but Ethan Carter said, "Excuse me, can you get me that ring?" I looked around, and the other colleagues in the store were busy attending to customers. I was the only one free. I cursed inwardly and turned to get the ring from the cabinet. Luna Valentine frowned uncontrollably when she saw my poor condition. "David Cole, you're badly burned. Why aren't you in the hospital? What was that diagnosis about the other day? Do you have a terminal illness?" I put the ring on the table without looking at her. "Lady, I don't know you. If you harass me again, I'll call the police." She grabbed my wrist and tried to pull off my mask. I dodged away, and she became exasperated. "Do you know what you're doing? You have terminal bone cancer. Why are you at work instead of getting treatment in the hospital? Are you sick? What does it matter to you what I do? Are you going to buy it or not? If not, leave." Ignoring me, she attacked me in public, grabbing my collar. "David Cole, even though we're divorced, I was once your wife, and I have the right to care about you. Was that diagnosis fake, too? Are you lying to me again? Just to make me feel sorry for you, so I won't divorce you?" The eyes of everyone else in the store were drawn to us. Yet she still recklessly tore off my mask. Seeing my gaunt and pale face, Luna Valentine's expression turned extremely ugly. "Are you lying to me or not? I'm asking you one last time. What was that diagnosis all about?" She roared at me, losing control, not even hearing Ethan Carter's words of persuasion. I calmly pried her hand away, finding it quite amusing. "Do I need to remind you? We're divorced. What I do is none of your business." Seeing that I didn't answer, she immediately took out her cell phone and called the hospital to inquire about my condition. A minute later, she was thunderstruck, her face pale, her figure frozen in place. After a long days, she said in disbelief, "Impossible, how could you? You're kidding me, right? Tell me. Tell me you're kidding him." E. Ethan Carter hid the smugness in his eyes and gently took her arm. He turned to look at me. "David Cole, I don't mean to say this, but how could you hide such a big thing like being sick from Luna Valentine? Aren't you making her feel guilty? You're too selfish. You can't hold a grudge like this. I told you I don't blame you for the fire, so why can't you just apologize to Luna Valentine?" I curled my lips into a cold smile. "That's right, I started the fire. I don't have long to live, and I don't want you two to have it easy either, so what?" Luna Valentine's anger was ignited by these words. The next second, she strangled my neck. I was breathing rapidly, my face flushed red from suffocation. Yet she only cared about questioning me. "You started the fire? When did you become like this?" I tried my best, but I still couldn't break free from her hand. Finally, a colleague noticed something was wrong and rushed forward to pull her away. I clutched my abdomen and coughed violently. In my heart, there was only the pleasure of revenge. Does it matter whether I started the fire or not? Anyway, no matter how I explain it, you'll blame me for the fire, won't you? Don't you trust the man next to you? Then keep believing him, and just wait until you regret it. Luna Valentine was stunned by my words, and it took her a long time to react. Ethan Carter hypocritically stepped forward, saying words of comfort. But every word he said nailed me to the pillar of shame for my sins. He leaned close to my ear and said in a voice only I could hear, "You stole everything from me. You deserve this today. I'll marry Luna Valentine in the last moment of your life, so you can see how happy we are. See how your wife licks my boots." I couldn't hold back the anger in my chest any longer and punched him hard in the face. Blood oozed from the corner of his mouth. He immediately put on a look of extreme grievance. Luna Valentine finally came back to her senses and rushed to me as soon as possible. But not to question me, but to care for me humbly. "I know you're not that kind of person. Why are you doing this? Is it because of the cancer? Tell me. As long as you say it, I'll believe you. I won't leave, I'm willing to be with you, don't try to get rid of me this way." Watching her mouth open and close, the words she said made no sense to me. People are really strange things. In my past life, she burned me to death for Ethan Carter's sake. This time, she was unwilling to believe that I started the fire and chose to stand by my side. Indeed, what you can't get is always the best. The store clerk called the security guards, finally ending the farce. Luna Valentine calmed down under Ethan Carter's persuasion. They left. But I lost my job. The manager blamed me for my poor service attitude and for fighting with customers in public, which had a bad impact. I couldn't be bothered to argue with her, so I took a cab directly to the hospital. I contacted the police on the way. After hearing that the evidence was okay, I confirmed the time of the arrest with them. It was set for the wedding day. When cleaning the wound, the doctor saw my medical record for terminal cancer and sighed with emotion. "Young people still need to take care of their bodies. If you continue like this, I'm afraid you won't live for many days." I smiled bitterly and nodded. "I won't die until everyone who should be sent in is sent in." When paying the bill, Luna Valentine sent me countless messages using Ethan Carter's number. She either asked me why I started the fire or questioned me for taking the liberty of hiding the news of my illness from her. I didn't reply to her. For the next 3 days, I hid in the rental house to heal my wounds, watching the real-time updates online. Either they were spotted buying jewelry, or they were asked for photos while trying on wedding dresses. The popularity of the two was comparable to that of top celebrities. Luna Valentine had sent me countless messages since that day, but I ignored them all. On the day of the wedding, the entire rescue team arrived and stood in 2 rows at the entrance of the hotel. I didn't receive an invitation, and when I appeared, I was undoubtedly stopped at the door by them. The gazes of the crowd were full of mockery. When they saw the wig on my head, they showed even more contempt. "Luna Valentine didn't seem to say she invited you today, David Cole, you'd better not come in and cause trouble. If Luna Valentine knows we let you, the arsonist, in, our bonuses will be gone." I calmly explained to them that I would only watch and would not speak. But they still refused to let me in. As more and more guests arrived, many relatives had attended my wedding with Luna Valentine. They recognized me and didn't give me a good look. They turned around and ordered the hotel security guards to kick me out. Someone threw a bottle of drink at me and cursed me for being ungrateful. Someone spat on my face and said I was as venomous as a snake. The wedding was about to begin, and they had no time to pay attention to me, so they rushed in. I took the opportunity to follow behind the security guards, changed into their clothes, and was able to enter. When the process reached the last step, the two were exchanging rings. I lowered my head and took out my phone to send a message. You can arrest them now. The next second, the door of the banquet hall was kicked open from the outside. A group of police officers poured in and surrounded the bride and groom. Luna Valentine frowned, confused and angry. A hint of panic flashed in Ethan Carter's eyes, but he forced himself to calm down. Just as the guests on the scene looked at each other in confusion, I slowly walked onto the stage. Excuse me for interrupting everyone's time. Ethan Carter is suspected of arson and intentional homicide, and I have submitted evidence to the police. Miss Valentine is suspected of dereliction of duty for deliberately not rescuing at the scene of the fire, and I have also filed a lawsuit. I'm sorry, today's wedding may not be able to be held. If Miss Valentine wants to hold a wedding banquet in the future, she may have to trouble everyone to visit them in prison. Luna Valentine's face was full of astonishment. Ethan Carter explained in a panic, still trying to throw the blame on me. Unfortunately, no one listened to him. When they arrived at the police station, Luna Valentine watched the surveillance video of the arson in the house, her expression complicated. After a long silence, she asked, "So, you started that fire in a past life too?" So she was also reborn. No wonder she couldn't wait to announce her love for Ethan Carter to the world this time. It was to make up for the regrets of her past life. Ethan Carter had no words to argue and could only apologize to her and beg for her forgiveness in a wretched manner. Luna Valentine was full of disappointment and didn't look at him again. After the police took the people away, only Luna Valentine and I were left in the interrogation room. The guilt of 2 lifetimes combined almost overwhelmed her reason. She trembled with excitement, got up, and knelt directly in front of me. "I'm sorry, it's all my fault, I trusted the wrong person. I know I'm not qualified to ask for your forgiveness. Can you promise me one thing? We've known each other for so long, this is the only time I've asked you, leave a space next to your grave for me, I want to be buried with you." I glanced at her, and a premonition arose in my heart. But I didn't agree directly. After making a record, I left the police station. The police randomly released the results of the investigation. The cyber violence instantly reversed. But since the two had already entered the police station, they couldn't hear how badly they were being cursed. The others in the rescue team were suspended because they had listened to Luna Valentine's words on the day of the fur. Ian did nothing about my injuries. The official announcement was issued on the day Ethan Carter and Luna Valentine were imprisoned. My phone received many apology letters from the team members. I didn't reply. A week later, I saw the news from 3 days ago. Luna Valentine committed suicide in prison. Ethan Carter was also ostracized by other prisoners in prison. In a week, he had been to the hospital 3 times. Seeing the netizens in the comments claiming to be medical staff, said that Ethan Carter was still in the ICU, his life hanging in the balance. I chuckled softly, but spat out blood the next second, and closed my eyes forever.